good time to be in Boulder City. Quiet city, and I can understand why they'd want to keep it that way. Had probably one of the best jobs you can have, and well, it's still a great time to be in Boulder City. We're walking down Denver Street where there's these beautiful little homes that were built back in, well, when they started to build the Hoover Dam. This is where the homes were being built along this area. The Hoover Dam awarded a contract called the Six Companies, Inc. And one of those companies was Babcock and Wilcox. And so a lot of these homes were built by this company, often referred to as BW, not BNW or BMW. There's been a lot of changes over the years, obviously, updates, renovations. Some of them are the original historic homes were torn down, built with other homes and stuff like that. And these homes, they run pretty dang expensive per square foot, believe me. One of the things I like about Boulder City, they keep this a small town. Residents here have voted repeatedly to limit and restrict the size and growth of the city so it stays a small town feel. And I think that that will continue to be a feature of Boulder City. So it stayed a small town right out of Las Vegas, about 20 minutes, and then right on the doorstep of the Hoover Dam, of course. But it's just such a quaint, quiet city, and I can understand why they'd want to keep it that way and preserve that intimate community. These homes are cute, they're expensive. It definitely is worth the price, in my opinion, to be a part of this American history and just such a cute, charming little town. Plus, you have beautiful views. You know, oftentimes people think all the power to the Hoover Dam goes to California, and a lot of it does, but it still powers this town. Now, remember, this town was built during the Great Depression. If you got one of the jobs here, you had it made. You got 3 square meals a day. You got to live in a house, a roof over your head, and you got great wages for the time period. So it was incredibly grueling. A lot of people lost their life, but you had probably one of the best jobs you can have at that time during the Great Depressions. It was a good time to be in Boulder City, and well, it's still a great time to be in Boulder City. One of the things my wife and I love to do is come down here, antique shop, check out, they have a cute little museum, little ice cream shops, and great place to eat. I have a video on Cornish Pasties that just moved here. We're right across the street from the Boulder Theater, which is the first building in this town that had air conditioning. When they were roasting and hot, they would go into that building and cool down and watch a movie, an old flick. Coming downtown is just a treat anytime you come to Boulder. So you definitely want to check it out when you get a chance. Boulder City was really created in 1928 when Calvin Coolidge signed in a bill that basically set up the Hoover Dam and the city. This became the first master planned community in the nation. So it was really well planned out, where most cities just kind of grow and sprout out. This was pre-planned development, workers living here almost overnight, and they were building. It was the first planned and organized community of its kind in the nation. So they used the most modern ideas and thoughts for construction and in setting up a city. And so it's pretty well laid out and designed city. What's also interesting is it didn't become a real city until 1959. At that point, the federal bureaus released it, and it became its own incorporated city at that time. So the valley you see down below here, where you see Lake Mead, is where they ran the railroad tracks. So before they could ever start the building on the dam, they built the railroad tracks to bring all the supplies into and down where they're going to build the dam. Now back then, the water wasn't here, the town wasn't here. They're building trying to build a town around this. This is the desert, mind you. There's no air conditioning going on here. They're working in this hot, difficult area and built themselves a railroad station that would bring all the supplies, and it would be extensive. Once the railroad was in place, then they could start on the construction of the dam, the largest bridge in the history of mankind at this time. Lake Mead is at a record low. It is actually a very big concern to all of us here in Nevada, where the water continues to drop. I remember I was here in 1984 when the first and only time that the overflow was actually in use, the only time it ever had been. And now we're at records low. Concerning level, and with a population of 2.7 million people or more, if you include Boulder City, we're concerned about the water levels because 90% of our water intake is taken through the Colorado River and Lake Mead. Hopefully you like this video. I absolutely love Boulder City. If it happens to be a place you want to move, well, I have 2 listings currently right now, and many other homes that are for sale, and they do limit the number of homes for sale, so they're always in high demand. They go quick here in Boulder City. So yeah, my information is below. Let's reach out, let's have a conversation if Boulder City might be your next home that you want to live in.